Hello there everybody, Hammer, and welcome back to Higurashi Kai Tsumihoroboshi. Wait, did I get that right? Hold on. Yeah, Tsumihoroboshi. Okay, I actually got it right that time. Okay, one of you guys, for some reason YouTube's not notifying me about any comments or messages I receive. I'm not entirely sure why that's going on. I make sure my notification settings are working, but one of you guys was kind enough to send me a file that's supposed to, I believe, update some of the music for this arc, and I think it's also supposed to be used for other arcs as well. Hopefully I put it in correctly. If not, just bear with me. I'm very inept. I was told to go ahead and just extract the files into where I play the Higurashi, so it should hopefully it works. Anyway, in the last video, we finally had ourselves a heartwarming moment as we accepted our little murderer. And again, I don't know why YouTube has notified me, but I haven't checked any of the comments of the last video, other than that message that was given to me. Or at least I haven't actually checked all of them. Anyway, I'll do that later. Anyway, let's jump right back in, shall we? I wonder when we're gonna be seeing our favorite detective. Well, police officer, fuck, I don't know. I'm just wanting an excuse to use this voice again. I miss doing my Oishi voice. Yes! Oh my god, I'm fucking dying. Oh god. Oh my god, ask and thou shalt receive! Okay, who's talking? Welcome, would you like a hot dog? Our shaved ice are the best you've ever tasted. You can have it with strawberry syrup, melon syrup, or Hawaiian blue syrup. I'll actually have the melon, please. Here, you can buy takoyaki in sacred lots. If you win the jackpot, you can get a tremendous mustard. Oh god, where's Oishi? Damn it! Where'd he go? There are many street stalls at the Watanagashi Festival this year. Oishi thinks that anything can become a festival if there are street stalls and music for bond dances. It's still June, but it's been extremely hot as if it's already summer the past few days. We have a June festival with bond dance music under this kind of weather. The only thing that's missing to make it a perfect summer festival is fireworks. Bzz, bzz. This is Kumagai. Oishi-san, can you hear me? Copy. Oishi hears a voice from his portable radio. When he's wearing the earphone, it looks like he's sneakily listening to a horse race station on the radio while he's on duty. This is Oishi. I can hear you loud and clear. The town councilors gave... I actually know what the voice. I'm gonna go with this. Fuck it, I don't care. The town councilors gave us a lot of food. And we have oden, yokisaki soba, a stew of pork guts, and, some barley tea. Are you talking about the barley tea we can drink while we're on duty? Or the one we can't drink while on duty? Oh. If it's a canned drink, I'll take it. If it's in a cup, don't worry about it. Roger that. Ah, and the board members of the town are here to say hi. We have the village leader and the Sonozaki family, too. Is that old bag Oriole there, too? Can you tell her that I'm patrolling right now and that you don't know when I'm coming back? Well, I don't think I can do that for you, sir. She knows you have a portable radio, so she told me to call you and to bring you back here. She looks really mad. I'm sure it's going to be a stroke that'll kill her. Okay, tell her with extreme courtesy that I'll be back soon. Please. Oh. Well, guess I have to... Oh, well, I guess I have to go back and mingle with the locals. All of a sudden, a group of kids comes run towards me from behind. When I look at them, I notice that the granddaughter of the old bag and her friend. Oh my god, are we in Oishi's perspective? Yes! Finally, my dream has come true. They occupy a corner of the shooting game stall, making a lot of noise. Sonozaki Mion. She looks cute and normal when she acts her age. But I hate it when she acts as a member of the Sonozaki family. I'm sure she'll be the boss of the Yakuza territory in Okinomiya in 10 or 20 years. Well, I'm thinking things like that. I noticed that Mion isn't the one who's taking the leadership of the group. It's the boy. I know that boy. He just moved here recently. He's the boy of that Mayabara mansion. I believe his name is Mayabara Keiichi-kun. I heard that the Mayabara family is from a city, and they're supposedly very rich too. But he doesn't show off much money from his family has, and he has a good reputation for that. Even though he just moved here, he already blends in with his school, and he's popular with his classmates too. Well, yeah, I mean, to be honest, everybody really likes him. His reputation in the village is also good. I watch him for a while, because I find him very interesting. He's a person of moods. Boys of his age have a lot of energy. He makes me remember my youth. Hey, you're next, Rena. You're so lucky it's your turn.
Rena, are you okay? Are you feeling sick? I'm sorry. I guess I have to pass on the shooting game. Okay, you should take a break. So, that makes me the next to go. I'm going to get it.
Looks like only 4 of them are having a good time. The girl called Rena seems to be outside of the circle. Her name is Ryugu Rena. What was her real name? I don't remember, but I can check when I get back at the station. Rena is her nickname. I believe she moved here a year before Mayabara-kun did. I had her mother divorced with her father over something. She's a strong girl, does all the housework without her mother. I heard she's a very modest girl, which is rare in this era. Looks like she hasn't opened up to her friends yet, unlike Mayabara-kun. Looks like it's a group of 5, but there's a distance between her and the others. She looks a little sad. Mayabara-kun is blended in with the village, but Rena is still by herself. That's how it looks to me. Shh! Oishi-san, the chief and the section manager are here. Please come back as soon as possible. Roger that. I can't believe the chief came all the way here just to say hi to the locals. I guess our chief is very dedicated to mingling with the locals. This is Takasugi. Oishi-san, can you hear me? Copy! Copy! Yes, I hear you. I'm on my way back right now. I'll be there in a minute. If I don't hurry back, the chief might call me on my radio. I run back to the headquarters tent. Oh my god, yes! I got to play as Oishi! Oh! Hello. Okay. Well, that was quick. Oh, goody. Oishi-san, Dr. Irie is here. Oh, thank you so much for coming. So, what do you think, Dr. Irie? Oishi enters okay. Oishi enters the enclosed area. In there, people from forensics are taking pictures of the dead body from various angles. Irie is squatting down next to the dead body of Tomitaki Jiro. Oh, shit, he's already dead. He doesn't even get any dialogue. When he stands up, he looks pale. I can't believe it. I know. I can't believe it either. As far as I see, he clawed at his throat. With his hands. This isn't a normal way to die. Most likely it's something to do with a dangerous drug. Are you saying that he was a drug addict? I don't know. I guess it's going to be my job to find that out. Oishi-san, what is this rectangular timber? I think he was swinging it around. And then he threw it away. And he had more fun clawing at his throat, I guess. Why did he swing the timber around? Probably hallucinogenics. Or it had to have been a hallucinatory drug, I guess. That, or maybe he really was fighting off somebody. He probably did it in self-defense. Did you notice there are several external injuries on his body? Yes, I can see some bruises. The easiest explanation I can think of is this. He was attacked by someone on his way home in Okinomiya from the festival. He was seized by the suspect. He was given a shot of some kind of dangerous drug. He went crazy, and he died.
I've never heard of any drugs that can make people claw at their throats.
I'm not a specialist of that kind, but many drug addicts injure themselves whenever they're in terminal condition. Well, I'm sure the old man from forensics will take care of the investigation.
Excuse me, Oishi-san. Oh, never mind. We found a bicycle believed to belong to Tomitaki Jiro a mile away from here.
Oh, that's great, thank you. Did you find any clues?
Not yet. They're investigating it right now.
So, that means the place where the bicycle was found is most likely the place he was attacked. And he ran away from the suspect and came here. Oishi frowns, crossing his arms in front of his chest. Irie is looking at the miserable corpse of Tomitaki, and he keeps saying the same things. It's impossible. It's just impossible. Doctor, it did happen, so it was possible, okay? So, let's think flexibly. Well, I understand you don't really get to see something like this every day, even though you're a doctor. Anyway, thank you so much for your cooperation. You can go home now. I called you here for emergency medical care, but I'm sorry I wasted your trip.
Oishi sticks his head out of the blue tent and says,
Can anybody give him a ride home?
Irie gasps all of a sudden and he asks Oishi, What about Takano-san? What happened to Takano-san?
What? Oh, are you talking about your nurse?
I think she was with him. Is she okay?
Do you know a phone number?
Of course.
Kumo-chan, get her phone number from Dr. Irie and make someone at the station call her home.
I got it. Doctor, can I have the number? Yes, here it is. Kumagai gets the phone number, repeats it to make sure if he got it right, and dashes out of the blue tent.
Doctor, Takano-san and Tomitaki-san were close friends, right?
Yes.
Have you heard any troubles between them?
No, not even once. They were very close friends.
I hope she's okay. In the worst case scenario, she could be dead, or she could be the perp. I see. Nurses have access to dangerous drugs.
We don't have any dangerous drugs in my clinic. Even if we did, we'd store them with extreme caution. There's no way Takano-san could smuggle out a drug from my clinic.
But it's easier for nurses to do it than for regular people, right?
Like I said, I've never heard of a drug like that, and I don't have anything like that in my clinic. Oh, Oishi-san, she isn't at home. The standby unit says they're going to go to her house to check. Doctor, can you give me her address?
Kumo-chan, can you also check if the police headquarters has any unidentified female bodies tonight? Maybe we should check the other prefectures, too. Tell the section manager if he can call the nearby prefecture police headquarters and ask if they have any unidentified female bodies.
Yes, sir! Are you saying that Takano-san might be dead, too?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if she's dead or if she's the perp. Of course, there's still a possibility that she's absolutely irrelevant. She might just be getting drunk at a bar somewhere right now.
I can't believe it. Who does things like this?
I can't believe it either. This fits with the series of the mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. It's been 5 years. This will make the 5th curse of Oyashiro-sama. Damn it. Got to get the perp somehow this year. I really want to close these cases before I retire.
Oishi hates the curse of Oyashiro-sama. It has been leading him around by the nose for 5 consecutive years. The victim of the first year, the manager of the dam construction site, was his friend. Despite his desire to avenge his friend, the mystery of the cases has thickened, and one case followed after another each year. Oishi is retiring next March. He'll be able to ask the progress of the investigation as a retiree, but he won't be able to take the initiative in the investigation anymore. That means this year is his last chance to avenge his friend.
Do I have to put my head in the lion's mouth to capture the suspect?
Oishi clenches his fist quietly.
I believe that this maze has an exit. Maze is a very convenient word. That's because a maze always has an exit.
You don't call it a maze if it doesn't have an exit. I know I'm on the right path towards the exit of this maze. I used to miss small turnout points, but now I don't miss anything. I don't make any mistakes. I have some leads this time, unlike the other cases. I'm sure I can get to the exit of this maze this time. But no matter which path I choose to come to this point, Tomotaki Jiro always dies. Oh? That was an interesting piece of dialogue. Very different. Kind of sent a chill down my spine. God damn it, that scares me every time. Rena's been sick since that day, and she hasn't been able to join the club activity every day.
Yeah, I still feel feverish. You do. I'm sorry.
Hey, Rena, why don't you just try and play with us today? I think you'll feel a lot better when you play and make a lot of noise with us.
Yeah, Uncle Mion agrees. Do you think so? Do you? Sometimes resting too much is bad for you.
Yes, that is true.
That's right. All illness comes from the mind, you know.
Everybody has suspected for a while that Rena isn't really sick physically. It's just that many things happened to her at once. She caught a cold mentally. That's why I thought she would get better once she played with us, just like we used to. It seems like Rena knows it too. I'm sure she knows that she has to get out of the state of depression soon. She wants to get better, and she wants to have fun every day again.
Okay. I'll do it.
Good!
Great. That's the spirit. Considering the fact that Rena is still recovering from her illness, let's play a table game today. Let me see.
Mio starts rummaging through her locker, humming. She takes one game after another from the locker and puts them aside. The locker is definitely not obeying the laws of physics. The amount of the games she took out from the locker is more than what the locker can physically hold.
Oh, I forgot about this one. Let's try this. Today we're playing this detective game.
Oh, what's that? Sounds interesting.
Well, this is a game to guess the suspect, the murder weapon, and the scene of the crime.
Oh, so Clue.
It's a brain game. You'll pick it up as you play along. All you need to do is to organize the information on your note. Oh, you need to learn the trick of note-taking. This is a game for intelligent people like me.
Oh, so this is clearly a game that's not meant for somebody stupid like me. The rules of the game seem to be not that difficult. In short, you can ask other players a question in order to guess what cards they have, and then you guess the first card each player puts on the table. There are many kinds of games like this, to guess what the cards the other players have. This game is a little different than from the other games because it's a match-up battle game. The key to winning this game is how well you can organize the information. The members of our club usually like to play athletic games so that we can make a lot of noise. But we can also play brain games like this. We excel both academically and athletically. This is great! I'm getting excited! Let's play the game! Rena, do you remember we still haven't decided the winner of the water gun battle? I'm going to get it settled today, once and for all.
That's great. I'm not going to go easy on you. If Rena's going to get serious, I have to get serious too. You're right. Since the last water game battle, I reevaluated Akechi-san and Rena-san. I'm going to play brutally. This is getting exciting. Uncle Mion has been waiting for heat like this. Good. Let's do this.
Are you ready? Oh, what the hell? It didn't even let me read it? Wait, can I go back? Okay. Are you ready? I have a knife in the study room.
Okay, my turn. Keiichi-kun has poison in the entrance hall. My turn. Mion has a pistol in the lounge. I know you have a pistol. You're bluffing. I think I know the suspect in the murder weapon. I narrowed the scene of the crime down to 2. You're good, Rika-chan. I narrowed the suspect down to 2, but it's hard to narrow down which one it is. I'll give you a tip. There's always a hint in the questions the other players ask you. If you get it, you can even get the 3 elements by the order of the cards the others put down on the table.
I see. Damn it, I underestimated the depth of this game. Oh no, my notes are such a mess. I can't even read my own handwriting. You and me both. My handwriting is nothing but terrible chicken scratches. I forgot how to breathe.
Once you acquire the skill of note-taking, you have a 70% chance to win this game. But a 70% chance isn't enough to defeat me yet.
I kind of knew I didn't stand a chance of winning this game, but I gradually start picking it up. When I look at Rena, she looks like she's getting her energy back as she plays along. I was right about forcing her to play with us today. While we're playing the game, Chie-sensei comes into the classroom. It looks like you're having a lot of fun. Anyway, is Ryugu-san here? You have a visitor. Everybody looks puzzled. Some parents sometimes show up to school for some reason, but Chie-sensei never calls them visitors. It's rare to have a visitor at school.
I wonder who it is. Well, I have to go. You can continue the game.
Rena leaves the classroom at a run. What should we do? Should we wait for her?
Well, we don't know how long it's going to take. Rena told us we could continue, so let's do it.
Yeah.
Around the entrance, the glaring sun and shade makes a clear contrast.
Oh! Hey, Oishi!
An old man who's holding his jacket in the arm is waiting for me. He looks hot and his tie looks limp.
Oh, nice to know you're into older men, I guess. What the hell? I know what she meant. I'm not that fucking stupid. Okay, maybe I am, now that I think about it. Are you Ryugu-san? Ryugu Reina-san?
Ever since Rena called me Reina, I've hated my real name, Reina, more than ever. So my first impression of this man isn't good. Yes, I am. May I ask who you are?
Why don't we go to my car since it's well air-conditioned? Don't you feel hot in here? You're outside.
He ignores my question and starts walking toward his car parked in front of the school gate. If he wanted to talk about something normal, he would have used the teacher's office. But he wants to talk in his car. I can't help but feeling that he's suspicious. But Chie-sensei let him see me. That means this man isn't a suspicious individual as far as she's concerned. Who is he?
I'm not going to bite you. Please, this way.
He calls me while opening the rear door. Is he a policeman? Did the police find out that I killed Rena and the man? I feel anxious all of a sudden. Is this what's called voluntary questioning? I don't want to do this, but if I reject it, it'll only make me look suspicious. I prepare myself and get into his car. It's really cool inside the car. A car AC must cost a fortune. At least my father's car doesn't have one. Oh, that sucks.
Please let me know if it's too cold. I like keeping it extremely cool. Hey, you and me both, dude.
So, what's this talk about? I ignore his question and get to the point like he did in retaliation. He gets a small notebook out of his breast pocket and flips through it. He picks a photo from it. The photo shows the face of a goofy-looking man.
Please tell me if there's anything you know about this man.
The man in the picture looks sleepy and has no expression on his face. When you look at a picture of your relative, and he or she has no expression, you sometimes don't recognize the person. If it's not their relative, it gets harder to recognize the person. But anyway, I'm relieved a little bit now. This has nothing to do with Rena and the man.
There were scribbles on his shirt, and we found the signatures of your classmates, including yours, Ryugu-san.
Is this Tomitaki-san? I don't feel his usual feebleness or carefreeness from this picture at all. From this half-awake, emotionless face.
How about this woman, then?
I knew what he was going to show.
Her name is Mio-san. Takano Mio-san. Oh, whoops.
When did you see them?
I switched their voices, fuck!
Her name is Mio-san. Takano Mio-san.
When did you see them last?
I think it was right after the Watanagashi festival.
Didn't you notice anything strange? Anything. Please tell me.
Did anything happen to them?
Ooh, you have no idea. Yeah, I got it! To tell you the truth, I wasn't sure if it was Rena or Mion.
So, you gambled? How risky. It doesn't matter how he won. What matters is that he won. Oh, Rena, welcome back. What took you so long?
Mion notices Rena has come back. Rena looks exhausted. I have no idea what she talked about with the visitor, but I can easily assume it wasn't something fun.
Rena, are you okay? What? What's okay? What? I'm talking about you. You look pale. Are you sure you're okay?
Rena tried to convince us she was fine, but her face clouded over for a moment and she decided to leave early. I shouldn't have forced her to join the game. I regret it a little bit now. Rena probably forced herself to play with us even though she wasn't feeling good at all. Rena puts her stuff in her bag, apologizes to us for leaving early, and leaves the classroom.
Well, she's gone now. I guess we have to keep playing until we have the loser.
That's right. Whose turn is it?
Me.
Okay, Rika-chan. Come on! Oh. Seems like Oishi always has that same approach. Yeah, don't worry, my car's got air conditioning. Is that how he picks up the ladies? Oh well. What the? Well, this is different colored dialogue. First of all, I wasn't so close to Mio-san. I knew her, so I bowed whenever I saw her on the street. That was about it. I never really talked to her except for the one time. It was only recently that I sat down and talked to her for the first time. It was between the day of the Watanagashi festival and the day I was caught in the act of burying Rina and the man by Keiichi-kun and my other friends. What the? Wait a minute! This isn't... Is this the... the dialogue only changed color whenever it involved Rena. Is this the other Rena that she was talking about? And her, like, she's got, like... Okay, I needed to memorize these things, but I'm pretty sure Rena was mentioning how there was, like, another kind of thing that she was referring to another self. It is Rena!
I had a phone call from the library that evening. I was told that my father needed to return the book he borrowed. He was shopping at the home improvement store, so I went to the library to return the book for him. While I was there, I thought about borrowing some books for myself, and I started walking around the library. I saw her there. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh, Rena-chan. Hello. Mio-san. Hello. I didn't expect to see you here.
Really? I was going to say the same thing. I always spend time here and I've never seen you.
She smiled in a very attractive and charming way that only mature women can do. Her smile didn't show any sign that she knew her death was just a few days away. She told me that she often met with Toмотaki-san here. It seemed like she had some time to kill. She told me she wanted to buy me a drink. I had nothing to do after that. I let her buy me a canned iced milk tea from the vending machine in the library, and we talked for a while. Now that I come to think about it, it was ironic. She talked about the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. She didn't know that she was going to be the victim of its 5th year. The series of mysterious deaths? You've heard about it at least once, haven't you? 4 years ago, the manager of the dam construction site was murdered. 3 years ago, Mr. and Mrs. Hojo died. 2 years ago, Mr. and Mrs. Furude died. And last year it was Satoko-chan's aunt. The series of mysterious deaths made 4 victims so far. And it'll be the 5th year in a few days. I've heard about it. But you don't know for sure that somebody will die this year. I do. Someone will die in a few days for sure. There's the old saying, why only 2 without 3? Don't you think it sounds more convincing if you hear, why only 4 without 5? Mio-san was convinced that the 5th mysterious death was going to happen, but she didn't know she was going to be the 5th victim. I can say that it's ironic, and also that it's a creepy coincidence. But there was always something creepy about her. So maybe she knew that she was going to be killed in a few days, but still managed to make the mysterious smile. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. Of course I know about it. I've lived here for more than a year. Every year on the day of the Watanagashi festival, one trader of the village dies mysteriously. It has been so since the dam conflict. Each case was solved individually, but mysterious incidents still happen every year. It makes me wonder if there's some kind of will to all this. The incomprehensible creepiness gave it the name, The Curse of Oyashiro-sama, which fits perfectly. In fact, I always thought The Curse of Oyashiro-sama was just a set of coincidences. The reason is because I strongly believe that Satoshi-kun is the murderer of the case of the 4th year. I don't have any evidence, but I just know it. I know that Satoshi-kun was in a serious predicament last year and that he had nowhere to go. He had no help, but he had to save Satoko-chan as soon as he could. Satoshi-kun thought it through. God. And made the best choice to handle the situation, just like I did when I had the problem with Rina. I hesitated to tell Mio-san that Satoshi-kun is the murderer in the case of the 4th year, so I just listened to her for a while. According to her theory, the series of the mysterious deaths isn't just a set of coincidences, but is instead a series of murder cases. At that point, my theory was completely opposite from hers, but I decided not to cut in. You know about the Oyashiro-sama worship in Hinamizawa, don't you? Takano-san started telling me that Hinamizawa was once called Onigafuchi. She also explained the story of the villagers in the plain old days, showing me the scrapbook she was so proud of. The villagers in the old days were called man-eating demons, but they were also admired as mountain hermits. So, according to your theory, a group of fanatical believers who admire Oyashiro-sama is living in Hinamizawa, and they're trying to show the power of the Oyashiro-sama through the series of mysterious deaths, right? I'm not sure if we should call them fanatical believers or fundamentalists. The line between them is very vague. In the Meiji era, when the name of the village was changed to Hinamizawa, the customs and the traditions of Onigafuchi has ended. I think there are some people who want to revive them, and regain the name and the fear of Onigafuchi. Jesus. Mio-san's theory was very wild, but it was also very stimulating and interesting. At first, it was appalling to hear about her theory because it sounded a little too crazy, but after she eagerly showed me the documents she'd been studying, I started to think that her theory wasn't actually too far from being possible. If her theory was true, it would mean that the accidental deaths of Mr. and Mrs. Hojo in the 2nd year, the suicide and the death by disease of Mr. and Mrs. Furude in the 3rd year, and the drug addict murderer in the 4th year were all cooked up. It'd mean someone who has a lot of power and influence over the police was involved. When I pointed that out, Mio-san nodded in agreement, and she started talking about how strongly they were rooted in the village and how deeply they were involved with many public organizations. After she finished explaining all that, I finally noticed that Mio-san was suggesting that the 3 families, including the Sonozaki family, were the masterminds behind the cases. In fact, the Sonozaki family has a very strong power. Yes, but that doesn't prove that the Sonozaki family did it. They held influence not only over Hinamizawa and Okinomiya, but also over the entire Shishibone area. It might not be wrong to say that they even hold influence over the prefecture.
That would not be good.
If the Sonozaki family is behind all this, her theory gets more realistic. But that means I should doubt Michan. No, I shouldn't. But in fact, Michan was very cold and unkind to Satoshi-kun when he was going through a tough time. I know there was a conflict between the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family during the dam conflict, but still, she was very cold to Satoshi-kun. But Michan admitted her sin, and I forgave her too. I don't want to think about this again. I decided to change the subject because I knew it'd make me feel uncomfortable if we kept talking about the Sonozaki family. Okay, so this is just Rena, but it's just different colored text this time?
First of all, what is the Oyashiro-sama worship all about? It's a little funny that demons and humans wanted to coexist. Usually in folktales, humans try to wipe out demons.
I don't know, I kind of like the stories where humans and demons try to coexist.
That's right. That's why the worship of Oyashiro-sama is interesting. However, there are actually many stories that say people in old days admired a god that came from the land of the gods. It's called drifted god worship. There's a number of myths all over the world about the people admiring a god who came from beyond the sea or from the upper rivers.
The gods in those myths are actually people who came from different countries, right?
That's the general way of perceiving them. Ancient Japanese culture was way behind the ones in the continents. That's why, when the Japanese developed people in these days saw a foreigner from a developed country in Japan, they admired the knowledge the person had, and they started admiring them as a god. That's one theory.
I heard that red demons and blue demons were actually foreigners who drifted ashore in Japan because their boats shipwrecked. The Japanese may have created the long-nosed goblins out of foreigners, too. They probably saw a foreigner who had a reddish skin with a very long nose.
Wow! You have a good point of view, Rina-chan. I agree with you. I think most of the drifted god worships are based on foreigners. But if that's so, the drifted god worship of Onikafuchi has a contradiction. Do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
It's easy. Onikafuchi isn't adjacent to the sea.
I see.
If it's something to do with foreigners, the place has to have a connection to the outer world. In Western countries, the connection is a river that runs from adjacent countries. In Japan, the connection is the ocean. So most of the drifted god worships in Japan originated near the shores.
Isn't there a possibility that the foreigner washed ashore at another place first and then traveled to Onikafuchi?
Well, the thing about the worship of Oyashiro-sama is, it specifically pinpoints the Onikafuchi swamp as the place where the demons appeared. The Onikafuchi swamp isn't connected to any rivers. So, how could a foreigner wash up there? That's why it's interesting to seek the mystery of Oyashiro-sama. How much do you know about the legend of Oyashiro-sama?
I just read a picture book about it at school.
I feel like I know a lot about it, but I actually don't. I just have an extreme fear of the rule not to leave Hinamizawa. That's because I believe my life went wrong because I left Hinamizawa. I feel dizzy when I try to think further, so I stop thinking. When everything went wrong in Ibaraki, I met Oyashiro-sama and he told me to go back to Hinamizawa. No. I feel dizzy. Don't try to remember. Don't try to remember. I can't remember. I got desperate because I felt responsible for the divorce. I just used Oyashiro-sama as an excuse for my mental instability, and I told my father I wanted to go back to Hinamizawa, right? But wait, Oyashiro-sama did come to me. Oh no, it's too bright. I can remember the vivid color of the pills and the dizziness. And that's all you need to know. The demons came out of the Onikafuchi swamp, and they attacked the villagers. Oyashiro-sama saw it, and came down to save the villagers from the demons by exiling them to hell. The demons cried, and the villagers felt bad for them. They decided to let the demons live in the village with them. Oyashiro-sama was impressed by the kind hearts of the villagers, so he gave human forms to the demons and let them coexist. The blood of the demons blended with the villagers as they lived alongside each other.
That's exactly what I read in the book.
I felt dizzy, like I was going to faint, because I touched the memory I didn't want to.
People say that most myths are based on an event of some sort that happened in old days. What fact do you think is the truth to this myth?
Because I was still feeling dizzy, all I could do was to tilt my head and question. It seemed like Mio-san was expecting it, because she smiled, looking satisfied that she successfully made me confused. She took a scrapbook out of her paper bag.
I'll let you borrow this for a while.
Thank you. But
Don't worry. Just read it whenever you have some time to kill. I want to know what you think about the things written in the scrapbook. I like to talk about it even if you're up against my theory, because you're very sharp. Jiro-san isn't interested in things like this at all, so I really appreciate your company.
I had little choice but to take the scrapbook. Apparently Mio-san came to the library often, so I figured I could return it to her whenever I came here to return my books. Ironically, the day I returned the scrapbook to Mio-san never came.
What's wrong? You don't look good. Are you feeling okay?
I caught a summer cold. I'm still recovering from it.
It wasn't the summer cold that was making me feel dizzy. I always get dizzy when I try to remember the time I met Oyashiro-sama in Ibaraki.
I asked her with courage. My memories of the days in Ibaraki is blurry. I know I met Oyashiro-sama. Nobody believed me and they told me that it was a hallucination. But I thought Mio-san would listen to me. Mio-san? Can I talk to you about something?
Yes, of course. You listen to me, so it's my turn to listen to you.
Well, it's about Oyashiro-sama. You might laugh at me.
I won't. You didn't laugh at me either.
Mio-san said that in a very gentle and mature way, and that encouraged me. Even so, I still hesitated to talk, but there was probably nobody but Mio-san whom I could talk to about something like this. I gathered myself up and started talking. I have met Oyashiro-sama.
You have?
Yes. I used to live in Hinamizawa until right before I went to elementary school. But my mother got a job in Ibaraki, so we moved. Well, you know what it means, right?
Yes, I do. You broke the rule of Oyashiro-sama, which is not to leave Hinamizawa.
That's right. And then many things happened. My mother divorced my father, and my family was broken. I got desperate and did bad things.
It must have been terrible. Then what happened?
I started hating everything in this world, and I started to feel like everybody who was happy was looking down on me. That's when the mysterious existence started to appear.
You mean Oyashiro-sama?
The first time it came to me was... but please don't tell anybody about this. It was when I started destroying myself by hurting my body with a knife. I cut my neck and something very dirty and gross came out with the blood from the wound.
Oh my god.
It was...
I'm not going to laugh. Go on.
The chill I felt at that time came back to me. I sealed that memory so that I would have to remember it ever again. Oh my god. But once I unsealed it, I started remembering things one after another. Yes, the thing was moving in blood. It was a clot of dusky red maggots. They oozed out with blood. But they wanted to stay in my body, so they crawled back in through the cut. I didn't want the creepy things to get back inside my body, so I clawed at the cut on my neck to get them out. But it hurt so much, and it only made my hands and neck bloody.
Clawing at her own throat. Clawing at her own throat. Oh boy.
I got scared all of a sudden. I was scared because I thought there were many nasty maggots in my blood vessels. So I cut a blood vessel on my thigh just to see how it looked. I thought I could see it better if it was on my thigh. Then they used that from there. So many of them.
I understand, Riku-san. So please, calm down.
No, you don't understand. The maggots came out with the blood, but they tried to get back inside my veins. It really itches.
Please bring a doctor.
No, don't call like that.
Bring me sedative. Hurry. Hold her down.
Please kill the maggots in my veins. Please take all my blood out from my body and clean my veins. There are so many of them in my... Oh, God. Ugh. Why don't you believe me? I'll show you. You'll believe me if you see them, right? I don't want to get shot anymore. No.
Jesus Christ. Calm down, okay? Mio-san sat next to me and held my hands tightly. The touch brought me back to reality. So, what happened?
Nobody believed me, but then he showed up. Oyashiro-sama came to me.
The memory was very vague and I saw flickering lights. It made it difficult for me to remember.
I met Oyashiro-sama.
That sentence is all I remembered. The memory of actually meeting Oyashiro-sama was unbelievably vague. After I got out of the hospital, I was treated at home. I still felt something moving in my veins, so I wanted to cut my body to make the blood ooze out so that I can make sure that there were no maggots in there. Usually I was sleeping like the dead all the time because of the strong pills I was taking. But then one day I forgot to take the pill, and my consciousness was very clear. I felt the maggots moving in my veins, and I felt the urge to look inside. I cut a vein on my wrist. I knew it. A lot of blood and many dusky red maggots came out from the cut. I wanted to wash them off before they crawled back inside me, so I put my wrist under the running water in the bathroom, and I tried to open the vein.
Oh God, oh. Ugh. Oh, God. Just imagine, oh God, I don't even want to imagine that. Ugh.
Water, blood, and maggots ran down into the drain. Just like I squeeze out the pus from a pimple, I squeezed the vein to get rid of the dirty blood and the maggots. I kept doing it. My arm started to feel numb, and I felt cold, but I kept doing it. I thought I might die from losing too much blood, but I kept doing it. My body was filled with maggots. I had to squeeze all of my blood out of me. And then a very bright light shone upon me. It was a very mysterious sensation. I'd never experienced anything like it in my life. The dark bathroom was filled with a bright light all of a sudden. It was very bright but gentle. It wasn't like the merciless fluorescent light. It was very warm and gentle. That was Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama was looking at me with gentleness and sadness in his eyes. As he touched my wound, the maggots started melting and disappeared in front of my eyes. That wasn't all. All maggots they were moving in my entire veins disappeared too. Oyashiro-sama taught me. These maggots were the curse. People of demon's blood can't live outside of Hinamizawa. It's their destiny. Unfortunately, you've been cursed. It's very sad and I feel sorry. Oh, okay. It's very sad and I feel sorry for you. There's only one way to save you, he said.
What should I do?
The answer was very simple. All I needed to do was go back to Hinamizawa. I unconsciously knew that before I heard it from Oyashiro-sama. People who were born in Hinamizawa shouldn't leave Hinamizawa. But I broke the rule of Oyashiro-sama and I left Hinamizawa. That's why my family was broken and I lost my mind. If I hadn't left Hinamizawa, nothing would have gone wrong. That's right. I had to go back to Hinamizawa. Oyashiro-sama also told me this. He could make the maggots, the embodiment of the curse, disappear, but it was only temporary because I lived far from Hinamizawa. After a while, the power of Oyashiro-sama would fade away, and the curse would start eating my body again. If that happened, the maggots would take over my body and I would die insane. I must go back to Hinamizawa before his power to hold down the curse fades away. That's what Oyashiro-sama told me. He did.
I heard him tell me that. I should have gone back to Hinamizawa earlier. That's why Oyashiro-sama came to me to put his curse on me. But he gave me a chance. He gave me a chance to pay for my sin of leaving Hinamizawa. Dad, listen, Oyashiro-sama is going to help us. Let's go back to Hinamizawa. Hinamizawa is the place where we must live. If we don't, not only me, but you might be cursed too. Let's go back to Hinamizawa. That's the only place where we can live. We need to hurry. We need to hurry or Oyashiro-sama's power will fade away and my body will be eaten by maggots. Oh no. Oyashiro-sama is following me. He tells me to hurry. He follows me everywhere and keeps telling me to hurry. He keeps apologizing to me for putting his curse on me. He follows me everywhere and keeps apologizing. I'm telling you the truth. I am. Why can't anybody see it? Why can't they see the maggots or Oyashiro-sama? Everybody's trying to fool me. I know they can see them too. No, please stop. I don't want to get a shot anymore. Jesus Christ. Oh, are you okay? I was breathing hard and Mio-san was holding my shoulders. I could feel that the terrible memory I had been trying to forget was awakening. The doctors told me that the memory was my delusion. They told me that since I blamed myself for the divorce, I unconsciously had a desire to blame someone else for it, and I unconsciously connected the desire to the folktale of Oyashiro-sama that I read when I was little. I took medicine treatment, received counseling, and waited. I gradually got better, and that proved that the things I saw were just a hallucination. The doctors asked my father to consider moving to Hinamizawa if possible. Fortunately, he wanted to change his environment to heal his pain from the divorce as well. So we came back to Hinamizawa. After we came back to Hinamizawa, I felt it. I felt it in my bones that this was the place we should live. And I also felt Oyashiro-sama's blessing. I definitely felt it. I felt the curse of Oyashiro-sama start to break. I was free. After I moved here, I went to the clinic in Gogura for a while. The doctor gave me the same vivid colored pills, and I kept taking them for a while. The terrible memory gradually became unclear. Whenever I tried to remember it, I could only remember the strong side effect of the pills, and it made me dizzy. That's how I regained peace. And then I changed my name, Reina. The reason was because my name reminded me of the bad memories. I didn't want to have anything icky in my life anymore. That's why I came up with the idea of taking icky things out. After I took the I of icky from my name, Reina, there were only Re and Na left. That's how Rena was born. I liked it. When I was introduced to my classmates, I told them to call me Rena. Since then, my name has been Rena. I'm living my new life as Rena. I cut off all the sad things that happened when I was Reina. My father still calls me Reina, but I don't feel bad as long as it's my father and my relatives. But then, Rena came into my life one day and she called me Reina. Because she called me Reina, the light started flickering again. I should stop. I should forget about it. The light is still flickering. I'm sorry. Was I panicking badly? You were muttering. I'm glad you calmed down. Judging by Mio-san's reaction, I wasn't panicking as badly as I thought I was. But I might have had fits of panic many times. If I went crazy like I used to, I would have been taken to a hospital again. I'm certain I met Oyashiro-sama. I saw the maggots. It's hard to believe, right? Mio-san smiles, looking confused a little. I don't blame her. I don't expect her to believe it. It probably was a delusion. I created it because I was in a state of panic at that time. I can't believe what I believe. I feel terrible. Rena-chan? First of all, you don't have to worry about anything. Yes. I'm talking about the curse you're afraid of, and the maggots that you saw in your blood. According to what Oyashiro-sama said, you're free from them as long as you stay in Hinamizawa, right? Yes, that's what he said. Then, you don't have to be scared. You don't have to worry about anything. You're in Hinamizawa right now. Well, this library is in Okinomiya, but it's very close to Hinamizawa. I'm sure it's okay with Oyashiro-sama. You don't feel anything moving in your veins right now, do you? No, I don't. So, there's nothing to worry about. You're following the rule of Oyashiro-sama. There's nothing you should be scared of. Is there? Right? No. No. I didn't know until then that she was such a warm-hearted person. I met many doctors and talked to them about this, but they always ignored me. Didn't really listen to me. All they did was to give me a shot of the drug I hated.
Well, those doctors are dickheads.
On the other hand, Mio-san didn't deny my story or the existence of Oyashiro-sama. The people in this village whispered behind her back that she's a little crazy woman. But she was actually a very kind person, I thought.
Rena-chan, I believe everything you just told me.
Thank you so much. You're the first one who said that to me.
So are you. You're the first one who didn't laugh at me and listen to me seriously. I think we can be good friends.
Mio-san smiles, touching my head with hers.
Well, I'll let you borrow my secret files and my scrapbooks. These are top secret. I didn't want to show these to anybody, but you're special. I think I can trust you. I know you'll take them seriously.
She took a few scrapbooks out of her paper bag and handed them to me. Let me know what you think after you read them.
There might be something that only you can understand.
Mio-san was acting mysteriously. She smiled mischievously and she put her index finger on her lips as a sign to keep it a secret.
Don't tell anybody about these scrapbooks or that I'm studying this, okay?
Okay. I got it.
If they find out that I've been studying it, they might get rid of me.
She laughed after she said that. They might erase her. That's what she said. And she went missing. She left me her scrapbooks. But that's not all there is to it. It's the way Tomotaki-san died. Oishi-san said that he committed suicide because he caused a state of confusion by using some kind of drug. But I know what really happened. I didn't tell Oishi-san about it. I don't think he'd have believed me if I told him. Without a doubt. Tomotaki-san died trying to get rid of the maggots.
Yeah! Okay. There's a connection then. This has to probably be drug related or something. Unless literally being in Hinamizawa causes something to people. It does something to people just by being in that village. Then if that's not the case, then it might be drug related. But it might have to be an outside source too. Because Rena said that she was having to deal with those. Wait, Rena was in Hinamizawa. Then she was out. Then they moved back in. So maybe Hinamizawa has something that either A, causes mass hallucinations, or B, they have something that, when you're not exposed to it, causes you to hallucinate. Possibly. I'm not entirely sure what it is, though. Although, this revelation here definitely starts to open up a few things in my mind. So now that I can start theorizing again. More properly, I guess. There's a connection between Rena and Tomotaki. I know there is. I think. Possibly. Maybe not.
It's nothing other than the curse of Oyashiro-sama. To stay in Hinamizawa isn't the only rule of Oyashiro-sama. There are more. He might have broken one of them without knowing it. Oishi-san told me. Tomotaki-san was taking pictures with flashes during the sacred ritual dance, and some people got mad at him for it. Did Oyashiro-sama put his curse on him because he violated the sacred ritual dance that worships him? It might be another reason.
Well, yeah, it is another reason. They broke into the...
Anyway, he died from the curse of Oyashiro-sama without a doubt. That means Oyashiro-sama put his curse on Mio-san too? Investigating the gods is the same thing as getting close to the gods. It's disrespecting the gods. But Mio-san told me that they might get rid of her if they found out about her investigation. By they, she meant humans, not Oyashiro-sama. Plus, according to her theory, the three families are in a conspiracy to revive the faith of Oyashiro-sama. But I can tell by the way Toмотaki-san died that it was the act of the curse. I'm certain about that because I experienced the curse myself. It looks like it's utterly irrelevant to the conspiracy of humans. I remember that Oishi-san told me something about a suspicious drug that can make a person commit suicide. Do the three families have a secret drug that can cause the curse of Oyashiro-sama?
Well, here's the thing. What I'm thinking is, the effects of the drug don't take effect at first. If you don't get consistent exposure to this drug, that's whenever they take effect. That's what I'm thinking.
That's impossible. Plus, I didn't get any shots of a suspicious drug like that. I had a normal life in Ibaraki. I wasn't involved with the Sonozaki family or the Kimiyoshi family. Oishi-san asked me a favor. He asked me to tell him secretly if I saw or heard anything suspicious. It could be about Mi-chan, Rika-chan, or anybody in the village. Mio-san believed my story about Oyashiro-sama. Now, she's gone. Toмотaki-san died by doing the same thing I did. Oh, no. I don't want to get involved with the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Is this a conspiracy of a group of fanatical believers, or is it the curse of Oyashiro-sama? Is everything just a set of coincidences? Or maybe it's a mixture of a conspiracy and the curse. I don't know. Is it the work of humans, the curse, or coincidences? Oh no. Even the light of the sunset is making me feel dizzy. When did the sunlight in Hinamizawa get so mean? Mio-san told me to keep her investigation secret. I have her top secret scrapbooks. They might hold the truth about everything. When I realize it, I get scared all of a sudden.
God, that scared me! Holy fuck!
I might end up the same way as Mio-san because I have her scrapbooks. If it's a conspiracy, I'll be erased. If it's the curse, I'll be cursed. I should burn the scrapbooks. That's the safest thing to do. But Mio-san believed my story. Mio-san listened to me without laughing at me. I feel bad to burn them without reading them. If it's a conspiracy, I have to expose it. If it's the curse, I have to break it. I shouldn't run away. I should fight. That's right. I decided to fight to seize my happiness. I shouldn't give in to misfortunes. I have to fight. I'm going to get rid of the things that are trying to ruin my peace. I'm going to read her scrapbooks when I get home. I start walking fast.
Oh my god. Lunch takeout list. Odd tip. Alright, what do we got? Attendant Karada Mental Clinic. Wait. Hello. To get straight to the point, it's assumed that this is an acute case of post-traumatic stress disorder. The patient is subject to tremendous stress because of her parents' sudden divorce and being forced to choose to live with either her mother or her Oh! Furthermore, the patient firmly believes that she was responsible for her parents' divorce, which further drives her to self-mutilation. The patient's largest shock stems from a sense of betrayal of her own household, which she believed was an absolute safe haven. Henceforth, there is a high possibility that the patient will resort to psychological defense measures to protect her family. For example, she might feel high disdain for any person of the opposite sex who approaches her father. She might feel uncomfortable about having other people in her home. She may also display absurd behavior in order to keep people away from her home. There are reported cases that a patient unconsciously brought home garbage for the latter example. It's highly important that the patient has close communication with her father. By deepening the communication between the patient and her father, it'll strengthen their family bond and loosen up her anxiety. Since the patient only shows signs of an acute syndrome in this case, there's a very good chance that she'll recover within 3 months with her father's support and proper medication. However, it's common for a patient who seems to have recovered to have a sudden reoccurrence flashback even after 10 years. Her father is still young, and there's still a chance for him to remarry, but the prospect of her father remarrying may cause the patient to have sudden flashbacks of her turmoil. This may instigate psychological defense behavior, along with elevated stimuli. Please explain this part thoroughly to the father in order for him to understand the recovery process. Should the father decide to remarry, it's recommended that he should hold off on telling the patient until she reaches the capable age of living independently. Also, the cause of the patient's psychosomatic self-mutilating behavior, the delusional disease of maggots, seems to be its own culture-bound syndrome. The patient seems to believe in the superstitious curse of her home village. She believes that she's cursed because she left the village, and that this was the cause of her parents' divorce. It's part of her subconscious defense mechanism, where her mind tries to shove her self-proclaimed crime to her villager's curse in order to reduce her psychological pain. According to the patient's statement, the culture of her home village is extremely strict and exclusive. The patient believes that there is no way to be saved from the curse other than by going back to the village. The curse will continue as long as she lives in her current environment. The patient has a tendency of having personal transformations, and there's high possibility that she keeps changing the reality. Personal transformation, an alteration of personality. The level of the patient's personality lowers, and it makes her change the reality in his or her delusion. Her delusion about the maggots dwelling in her blood is the perfect example, and it's also the cause of her psychosomatic self-mutilating behavior. When a delusion involves psychosomatic self-mutilating behavior, it's extremely dangerous. I highly recommend the father to move back to the village if he's financially capable. Allowing her to live with relatives in the village might also work. If such a strong belief can induce symptoms such as self-mutilation, then there might be cases similar to this one. Perhaps prior medical files that document similar culture-bound syndromes may be available at a large medical institution in her local area. What? You're gonna fucking call it like Hinamizawa... I don't know, Hinamizawa mental syndrome or something? Or Hinamizawa syndrome, I guess? It'll then be possible to provide better and accurate mental care for the patient by obtaining these case files. This B5-sized letter was with a bunch of memos. The following was on the backside of the letter. 1 chokudon. 3 Shanghai-style gomoku yakasaba. 1 large fried rice. Oh, there's the frickin' lunch. There's a fucking lunch thing. Okay, it's one thing if it's focused on one person. However, how would that explain the death of Tomataki? I mean, the scratching out of the throat. Which means there's something in the village that's causing this. And if you get too far away from it, that's whenever the negative side effects start to take hold. However, Rena has it even worse because dealing with her parents' divorce, and I just... I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional here. I mean, it's almost agonizing how much I can kind of relate to Rena here. But we've been given a bit more information, so now I can get to work a little, or at least I have much more information to work with now, in terms of, you know, the theorizing. But that's going to have to be saved for a different time. For one, my throat's dry as fuck. And I'm going to go need to calm down while I'm thinking. So, if you guys like this, be sure to let me know. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.